Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my Week 5 preview of the CFL action. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for our future content. And without further ado, we're going to get into this, and oh boy, am I excited for this week! We're going to start with Montreal versus Ottawa. Okay, this will be interesting, mainly because when Montreal comes off a week against a fighting back Hamilton Ticats, interesting just how different it's going to be playing against a stronger team like Hamilton and then immediately going to a much weaker team, Ottawa. And, I think of Vernon Adams Jr., and I think he's a better QB at this point, at least, than Nichols. But one of the things that Nichols suffers from is not having a great O-line in front of him. It's been a bit of a problem this season, and it's been something that's really shut down drives with Nichols not being able to get that time that he wants or the time that he needs to make these types of plays. And, when you don't have the greatest receivers in the world, time is your friend. And their O-line didn't look impressive. However, Montreal's defense, I think they need to play better than they did last game. They're going against a weaker opponent. This is where they got to at least get that momentum, so that way when they play these stronger opponents, they'll do better. So Montreal defense has got to do better in this game. But overall, I do think Montreal will take this game, probably by a touchdown or two. And so that will bring us to the most exciting game of the week, the one everyone's excited for, the Labor Day Classic, Winnipeg versus Saskatchewan. Oh boy! Labor Day's here, baby. Oh my goodness. This is gonna. You know what? It is a little bit disappointing that we didn't have that extra win against Toronto, because then you could have like two undefeated teams going against each other. But I am so hyped for this. And I'm also nervous, obviously, because Saskatchewan at this point in time, they are the team to beat. The Bombers had a game where they faltered and they kind of fell over themselves. And we've had games where against opponents that shouldn't have looked good, but we've made them look good. And that's not going to fly this week against Saskatchewan. Our DB's got to be better. Fajardo in his running game is good. His throwing game is fantastic. And the Bombers got to shut that shit down. We have to give them nothing, not an inch, not a single pass, nothing. We have to literally we got to play like we've never played this year so far. We got to have a fantastic game. Harris is in, so that's good. But I'm a little nervous about this one, boys. Mainly just because I know that Saskatchewan is damn good this year. But in terms of predictions, I cannot predict. It's too close. I can't. I don't know. In terms of the Banjo Bowl and the Labor Day Classic, I wouldn't be surprised if we go 1-1 against them. I hope we don't go 0-2. If we go 2-0, I'll be through the fucking roof with excitement. I expect it out of the two games to be a 1-1. I think we'll win and lose one. So that'll bring us to our next game. Not as exciting, but still an exciting game. Toronto versus Hamilton. Okay, so Hamilton comes back, and they get a decent win over Montreal. 27-10. Evans is playing. He looks good. Does he look great, though? I don't know. I think that Nick Arbuckle has been tested more and has proven himself more that he can be consistent. And I think that's going to be very crucial in this game. Because Toronto, all season, they've had a consistent offense and consistent defense. Or not all season, but a few games. It took them a game or two, to get into it. But as of right now, Toronto's offense and defense are in perfect sync with each other. They're very, very much consistent, and Hamilton has been everything but. What Hamilton team are we going to get? Are we going to get the, we just had a break week, let's fucking go, let's get it? And even though they don't have a break week now, are they going to continue that momentum from last game? Or are they going to get kind of ran over by the Argos with, the way that the Argos can just keep going and pushing and pushing and pushing. And with that reason, I think Toronto wins this game. I think the Argos are going to beat the Tiger Cats. So that'll bring us to our last game, Edmonton versus Calgary. Mayor's doing well. We were worried, well, not me. Calgary fans were worried when they first took out Bo Levi Mitchell, the guy who's getting huge paycheck to be your starting QB, and he's riding the pine. However, Mayor's being good, and I mean, he had a good game against Winnipeg, even though they lost. Overall, they played pretty damn well, as they had, this is a game that the Bombers made way closer than it should have been. The kicker, despite not making that last kick in the prior game, overall this season has been pretty good. And Edmonton's been all over the place. And then obviously last week their game was canceled due to players testing positive for COVID-19. So I think no matter what, Calgary wins this game. And one of the biggest factors into this is all those players that they had that tested positive for COVID. Of course, then they had their one guy, I can't remember his name, who they released basically because he had forged fake vaccination documents, which is a crime, so makes sense. But what Edmonton I have no idea what the roster is going to look like for this Edmonton team. Like, who's playing? And with all that uncertainty, I cannot see how Edmonton wins this game. I can't. Like, there's just... Who's going to be playing? And Calgary's still doing decent, and Edmonton hasn't really shown a ton of that. They really only had one game of that, but I think Calgary takes this game no matter what. So I think that'll be it. That is my Week 5 previews. I hope I'm right. But who knows? Let me know your comments down below on what you think is going to happen this week. And in the Labor Day Classic, baby... And check out my review of that game coming out, well, the day the game happens, because I sure as hell will be watching. So stay tuned next time, folks. Bye-bye.